Joining us this morning is Paul Rieckhoff, and you can check out his podcast, Independent Americans with Paul Rieckhoff, if you want to hear more about the topics he covers. I know you were talking about this one. If your plane has an engine issue, the last place you want to land right now, especially if you're an American or Ukrainian, is Russia.
Yeah, Marnie. I mean, this could have been a really dicey situation. I'm glad the Americans are back home and they're safe. But you and I have been talking about Putin and his manipulations over the last couple of months. And frankly, I'm surprised he let him go. I mean, this could have been like other Americans like Paul Whelan and others who've been held. And it's a good result. They're back home in America. We've got to deal now with smoke, which is not easy at the airports. But I think given all that's going on in Europe and Ukraine and Russia, this is a good and quick result, especially in contrast to so much of what we're seeing in that region right now.
Yeah, we're glad to be able to report the positive on this one in terms of the outcome. Now, you mentioned the smoke. You're in New York. How is it outside? What are you seeing?
You know, Marnie, I am just blocks from ground zero, where I was a 9/11 first responder. And it really feels a lot like 9/11. The city's really engulfed in smoke. It's less dusty than it was on 9/11, but it feels really strange. And for those of us that were around and alive during 9/11, we're often teaching to the young people what it was like. And this is a little bit about what it's like. But New Yorkers are tough. They're going to rebound and push back just like they did after 9/11. But I think it's a reminder that we got to stick together. We got to look out for each other. And it may be a thing we're going to have to get used to. I told my kids it's kind of like a snow day. Let's strap in and get used to it because there might be more to come.
Yeah. Are you going outside? Are you guys putting on the N95s, back to the masks?
Yeah, we're all back to masks. My kids just left a little while ago. They're out of school today, but they're masked up. And I got to tell you, this is an important issue, actually, Marnie. I'm feeling it. I'm a 9/11 first responder. I've had exposures to toxins also in Iraq and Afghanistan around burn pits. And a lot of 9/11 first responders are having serious health impacts right now. And it's a reminder that they need to continue to have support. They need to continue to get health support. And frankly, it shouldn't have been so hard for them to fight for that support and get it from Washington over the last couple of years. You know, it's 20 years now, and many folks say they never forget. Well, we need to make sure they never forget. And remember that right now, a lot of those cops and firefighters that stood up 20 years ago are suffering still.
Yeah, point taken. Be careful and stay inside if you can. I want to talk to you about Ukraine, and there is a video I want to share with people about Ukraine's Shush campaign or Shh campaign. I want to play that for folks at home. All right, speaking of eerie, Paul, this is kind of eerie, and it is captioned, "Please don't tweet locations, units, operations, and other details. Careless talk costs lives." Talk about the challenges in this new form of warfare in a digital age where everybody's on social media.
Yeah, Martin, I think that's a really powerful ad. It gets the message home, whether you can hear anything or not. In World War II, the old saying in America was "loose lips sink ships." They said, be careful what you write in letters, be careful what you say on the phone. And this is the modern evolution of that. The Ukrainians understand everybody's got a cell phone, and anyone can accidentally even disclose the location of a tank or a group of troops or a missile system. So it's, I think, another also example of how the Ukrainians have been masterful in winning the communications battlefield. The fact that we're covering this, the fact that we're talking about this shows that the Ukrainians continue to be ahead of the Russians, especially when it comes to social media, storytelling, video production. This is really a new front in the war. It's the war for hearts and minds. And I think this, compounded with the recent dam attack, is going to make more and more people around the country understand how complex this environment is for Ukraine, how important the fight is, and the human side of it. These are real people. These are sons and daughters. And I think we have to continue to try to put ourselves in their shoes and say to yourself, how would you feel if American troops were in uniform sending the same message?
Yeah, loose lips sink ships. Paul, before I let you go, Live Golf and the PGA, you call this merger and the head of the commission, Jay Monahan, cowardly and treasonous. Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, we talked about 9/11 first responders, and I think the community is universally outraged. A lot of folks stood up and said that they wouldn't take Saudi money. The Saudis were obviously connected to 9/11. They continue to oppress human rights in their own country. They have a horrible humanitarian record. And we really feel like this is a spit in the face to thousands of 9/11 first responders and family members, survivors who have opposed the presence of Live Golf, opposed them doing an event so close to a 9/11 site recently, just 50 miles away. And, Commissioner Monahan talked a great game. He said that he invoked 9/11 families as a reason not to merge with Live, and now he's done a complete 180. I think he's sold out our community, and I think he's sold out our country. This is a national security issue, and we shouldn't have a group like the Saudi regime now controlling one of the biggest one of the biggest sports agencies in America. It's a real cultural play, and I think it's a national security issue. But for us, it's also personal, Marnie, and this one really hurts.
Yeah, a lot of people agree with you, calling it hypocritical. Others say PGA is a business. It's about making money. Paul, always appreciate having you on. Thank you.